You are listening to the Slowly Dying Podcast with Becca.
Am I just extra or are you just basic?
Yo, what's
Can
up,
you
Daddy?
please move your leg? I cannot believe my ex said that.
And Bronte. I can't believe any of my exes said that. I didn't have my coffee today. If there's good food, there is no problem.
Some whipped cream on your nose, actually.
Are we really back for another season?
We get it down on the mic because you don't want a bike.
Oh God, here we go.
All right, so my next question, would you date somebody with kids? That had kids?
I don't know. And that's me being honest.
After what you've seen I dealt with?
Yeah, no, I don't think I would.
Okay.
Or, I don't know.
You want me to go first?
I think I would have to have a kid first.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that weird? I don't know.
No. I don't think it's weird at all, and I think people don't want to bring up this topic. Because a lot of people have kids, and there's not, like, I have a kid.
Yeah.
The only way I'm going to date somebody with a kid is if they are an active father, and they don't blame everything on their baby mama.
Fair enough.
I would like to date somebody that doesn't have a kid, even though I have a kid.
Yeah.
And this is not, and a lot of people are afraid to say this. When you have a kid, you have to put that kid before your partner. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, when I date somebody, I gotta put that, Willie comes before everything. Sometimes I need to put myself first, though, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, Willie always comes first.
Yeah.
So if a guy comes into my life and doesn't understand that, because he doesn't have a kid and he doesn't know what it's like to put a kid first, there might be some conflict. If there is, you're getting the boot. Not saying that I'm not going to treat you, I have to make you a priority as well, especially if I want a husband and more kids. But I think it's harder for people that don't have kids, and it's okay to be selfish and be like, I just want to have a kid just with you.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of drama sometimes, and there's a lot of trauma, and there's a lot of things that, you see a lot of what I deal with, and it's stressful, but what are you going to do?
Right, yeah.
So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think,
I don't know if that's where you're coming from, but.
No, it is. I think, it just gets complicated. Mm-hmm. I think the situation would have to be pretty solid between him and his baby's mother. Mm-hmm. And I get that. I am in no factor of that person, like, in that kid's life. Like, I do not want to take anything away from the mom. Like, I don't want that. But I think it has to be, like, everything needs to be solid with his baby's mama.
Before you even come along.
Yeah. I feel I want it to do appropriately. I want to meet her. I want to, because I want to respect her as well. I'm going to be clearly around the kid as well, but I want her to know that I know she is the kid's mother, not me.
Yeah. I think that's where things get a little.
But also, I don't want any expectation on me to take care of that kid, like, in the beginning. I think that's a little too much.
Yeah. If you're married and you got living with a kid, then
absolutely.
That's different. But I totally understand where you're coming from,
if it was, like, one or two times, like, hey, can you go pick us up so-and-so from school? But if it's, like, expected of me, no, that's still your responsibility. That's,
That's like playing wifey duties without the marriage title.
That's too much.
We don't do that here. Mm-mm. Yeah, no, and I understand that.
No, and I want to make sure we're getting to know each other before I even meet the kid.
Yes.
I feel like that's very important because I need to know who I'm dealing with as well.
Yeah.
Because they could be a completely different person around that kid.
Yeah.
And I don't want any false pretenses.
And if they're on their 10th baby mama,
it's
okay.
No, we're not doing
I get that people don't work out, and things happen, but you still have to, and from experience, me and my son's father has broken up plenty of times, so we've always got back together. This last time I decided not to get back with him. Mm-hmm. And whatever, I've been single for 4 years. But I think coming from the baby mama side of things, like, oh, well, he'd probably be with me if, you got that connection with having that kid, and you don't understand until you have that kid yourself. So you just really got to be careful. If they've only been broken up for a couple months, chances are he probably wants to be with his baby mama.
Yeah.
And that is just a little...
It's hard. It really is hard.
Yeah. So, nothing wrong with dating somebody that has a kid, just making sure that's what you want and that fits in your life. When I start dating again, hopefully he fits in me and Willie's life.
And that's important.
Yeah.
So I guess bouncing off of that, what are the lines, and this comes more from you because I cannot answer this. When you have a new man in your life, and it's going well, it's going strong, what are the lines of when you can allow him to say or do things for your son? Meaning more so like
discipline-wise?
Discipline or...
taking him to karate.
I don't want to say making decisions because that's ultimately between the parents. Like, I don't want to say that. But, like, if he punched a hole in the wall, like, or something like that, when would you give him rights to, like, be like, hey, Becca, Willie's in his room for an hour. Look what he did.
I think it depends how much I trust this person. If you get Willie, I trust you with my life. Nobody watches Willie.
Yeah.
I think we always have to be in a committed relationship. There has to be a really good bond. I would have to trust you. Willie would have to respect you. Like, if it's the 10th time and you met Willie and you're already doing that, no, ma'am. Like, you're getting the boot. But I do expect, eventually I will have a husband and have more kids. And hopefully he treats hopefully, not hopefully. He will treat Willie as his own. He'll take Willie to karate and do, fatherly figure things. But I don't know because I haven't been there yet. But yeah.
Yeah, what are the lines?
I think lines are determined when people want to cross them. And I'll let you guys know when I cross them.
Yeah, no, that's just always interesting,
Like, of course, if he's being bad and being disrespectful, okay,
Yeah.
Like Willie's. But he's, for the most part, he's a good kid.
That's what I'm...
But it is hard, and that's... I'm new to this. Like, I don't let people just watch Willie and I go on dates and Willie meets all these random men. I'm not like that. But he has met, like, 2 guys that I've talked to before in the past. And Willie gets along with everybody, but...
When he starts getting older and, like,
be
making
like,
the connections,
Yeah, so I think it's just kind of like a trial and error thing and kind of like the vibes and...
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at now.
Let's see.
That was a good question.
Right? It's just stemmed off the other one because that's very important.
Let me see. My turn. Let's get back to dating. Give me a topic. Give me like a topic or a scenario you want. I love doing these.
A scenario?
Yeah, you can give me a scenario.
Okay.
And then I'll ask you, or you can ask me a question of the scenario. I love scenarios. I'm crazy.
Damn it. What's the scenario?
Everybody says I always ask too many questions.
No, I love it because I cannot think of them. Like, sometimes I'm like so blank.
You have to give me a topic and then I'll give you a question. Like, it could be first date, first time you're having sex.
First time you're having sex.
All right.
Get back to the juicy.
Let's get back to
because that's what everyone wants, right?
Like, yeah. Hold on. I got this. First time you had sex. What's your biggest fear?
Wait, during sex?
Yep.
Oh, God.
When you first are like, all right, like, I feel like this man is mine. He's committed. I feel like I trust him. He's honest. Whatever. He has all the things I'm looking for. It's time to maybe
perform. Like,
are you afraid that he's not going to be able to perform? Okay.
Perform in a sense, like,
girl, yes, ma'am.
Honestly, finishing too quick. Like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? Not that it's like... Okay, let me rephrase.
I'm talking about the first time, girl. Hold on.
No, okay, can you imagine you waited like a month and a half for this, right? And you're like, yes, this is a man that respects me. This is going to sound so awful. I'm sorry. It's not my worst fear. It's probably disappointment. Disappointment if you can't perform. Like,
okay.
Perform in meaning in getting it up. Let's just go. Let's just
Girl,
go straight. Like,
what?
But
you acted like we 80.
I'm telling you, sometimes it happens. Isn't that like I've heard stories?
No, ma'am.
But
okay,
sometimes where it's like, I hate. This has happened to me where
okay.
It
We're getting a
finishes.
little personal.
It finishes way too quick. Like like I'm not even saying
Girl,
like,
listen,
us
let me tell you
finishing.
something. Let me tell
No,
nobody finished, but it finised. No, ma'am.
But
We are going on a new date tomorrow.
No, but it's like, it's good, but it's like, wow, it hasn't even been like 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
I mean, if he finishes fast, whatever.
I sound like a conceited idiot.
No. I understand what you're saying, because then it's frustrating, because girls take a longer time to get off. If he finishes, you know, like Nicki Minaj says, if you can't fuck 3 times a night, peace. But I get what you're saying. You know, if he finishes fast, you know, wait an hour or two and try.
Get it going again.
Yeah. Like, there has to be.
Start up the engine again.
I think what you're trying to say is if he is constantly finishing before you, then it's frustrating. Yeah, I understand that.
But, like, you mean biggest fear, like, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
In sex?
Yeah, like when you have sex with somebody new. I'm having anxiety. Like,
I don't
passing
know.
out anxiety.
My
Because I
biggest
just
fear?
get so nervous, and then I'm like, like I make things so fucking awkward, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. Like,
biggest fear.
It's just something that, you know, it's just like, mine is, like you said, what if they can't perform, but like, what if it's,
yeah.
Yo, people, I'm
Like,
sorry.
you don't know what to
No, you just want it to be good.
Yeah, you have
You know
so
what
much
I mean?
hype
Like,
about it.
Yeah, you're like, okay, waiting for and I'm sure the guys think the same way.
Yeah.
You know, like, I always talk about vanilla sex and nobody knows what I'm talking about, you know, but you just want to have a good connection through sex as well.
Yeah, I feel like my worst fear, me doing all the work.
What?
Well, you know what I mean. Like, if they're just lying there, you know, they're just lying
if they
there.
just expect you to do everything and turn them on, absolutely, you can leave right now.
Yeah, like, you know, like, I feel like I'm insecure. Like, am I not doing enough for you? Or, like, you know, like, come on, it's a back and forth thing.
Listen, if a guy is not all over you, trying to impress you, you gotta go. Mm-hmm. You gotta go.
I'm just saying. Like,
okay.
Because then you think, you're like, God, what do I have to do? Because, you know, like, some people, all right, not just, they just, like,
they just lay there.
You know how, like, people, like, when you put on sunscreen and it's cold and you're, like, everything, like, goes like that? Sometimes they're like that, and you're like, what's wrong with you?
Girl,
it's too cold, and it's, like, you know, they, like, tense up, and their fingers are, like, all contorted.
Wanna, like, act like you're watching 50 Shades of Grey. I understand. But you know when you have, like, good sex with that person.
Oh, absolutely. Like, but it doesn't have to be great the first time.
Yeah, of course it's going to be awkward.
Yeah.
And people are nervous.
But, like, it's really attractive when they're like, all right, now I know what to do the second time. And
yes,
like,
and they pay attention to your body and like the way
all right, I'll be like, let's go have a snack.
If your guy really loves you, he's going to come in with a firefighter's outfit. But you got to pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, you've been paying attention before you even had sex. So, you know, not saying, and you can talk about sex before you have sex. It's okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
talking about
it's
anything.
Okay to be like, I don't like tongue. I like tongue. I don't feel comfortable doing this, but maybe in the future with you. I think having safe words. I think we did talk about this.
We did have that,
turns us on, you know, and just being able to be like, stop. I don't like this. Yeah. Just having those conversations and putting the big elephant in the room before you get in that room is very important. But it's all about communication skills. That is why dating is an interview because it's all about communication.
Honestly, if they're like, what are your lines? I'll be like, oh, this now we're getting somewhere.
Now, I mean, you don't got to do a contract, but you can do a little sex contract. That's fine too. But not saying I've never done that, but I'm just saying.
I think one of my other biggest fears, they don't listen in the midst, like going way too far. You know.
Yeah, well, that goes with communication.
I feel like that, like, completely.
Yeah.
You know, because I know that's a whole different conversation.
Yep.
Like, good call.
Your turn.
What do you... okay, yeah, give me a scenario, too.
Okay. Hold on, I got another question.
Oh, okay.
What if you're dating this guy? See, now we're going, like, way past...
Well, this is clearly part 2.
Yeah. So, because you can bring this up.
Yeah.
What if you're dating a guy and he brings up a threesome or bringing toys in the equation or trying all these new things and you don't feel comfortable, but he is really wanting to do something, or vice versa? How would you handle that in your relationship?
I would want to know, toys I'm fine with. That's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong, role playing or bringing fantasy into it or, or toys. I feel like you learn a lot about a person, and there is a lot of trust when it comes to toys and objects like that. Again, if you do not know how to use toys, if you're not ready with it, don't do it. I don't know. Threesomes has always been like I don't want to say sensitive topic because it has come up, but I don't know if I particularly like it. I don't know if I'm comfortable with it. I would want to know why from him,
Okay.
Like I would want to know like what, obviously clearly I know what it is or what it means, but like what does he want out of it?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think trust is huge in sexual, but again, if you build the trust and build the relationship before you even get the sex, you have some kind of foundation.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you get the sex. But I think, just communicating about fantasies and communicating about toys and communicating about, if you've had horrible past experiences with doing this certain move or this certain way or whatever, then communicate about that.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, I'm a little fearful, so can we take it slow? Doesn't mean I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I think you should always be open and not judgmental. If your man's fucking 40 different girls a night, okay, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
But if I think threesomes with me, it's always cool when the guy wants to do a threesome with a girl, but when you bring another guy, that's when the protection comes in.
Yes.
And they get crazy. So, I don't know if it's a good idea, but again, if you're in a committed relationship, and I have tried to do threesomes in the past, did not happen, but I had conversations
about it. Same.
But
we've had conversations. I was never very serious about it.
Yeah. At one point I was, but then it was like, oh, it has to be a girl, but not a guy. Okay, so why?
Yes.
So, guys are very protective over their girls. But, like I said, I think it just depends on the relationship and depends on what you both want, and communication and trust is key. And if it's not key, then what kind of relationship you got anyway?
Right, exactly. Okay, how do you feel about... I believe every girl and guy and every person has the right to, like, fantasies, celebrity crushes. They're, like, I don't want to say, like, they're, like, erotica kind of, like, fantasy, like, stuff that they look at or whatever.
Okay.
That is their, whatever. We have, every single person has, like, a thing that they get off on, like, or that excites them.
Yeah.
How do you feel about if you found in your man's phone, like, his, pictures of women that he fantasies over, but clearly you could never, be like that in, like, his eyes, like, unless you went to go and get, like, plastic surgery.
What kind of pictures are we talking about?
But you know what I mean. Like, if you couldn't meet the standards of that, like,
I think
it's
you have
clearly...
to be very...
Or, like, are you okay with him having his, like, erotica stuff? Or is it, like...
it depends. If he's so obsessed to the point where he's not having sex with you, then that's a problem. If he has a little crush on Rihanna or Nicki Minaj, if he has one on Nicki Minaj, please, we can share that crush.
Yeah.
Anytime. But, but then you gotta remember it's okay for you to have crushes too. Be like, oh, that man's hot too. But if it's affecting your relationship and you don't feel self-confident, then have a conversation with your man. And this is very personal, I can watch porn with my man and be totally fine.
And be fine with it.
And be like, I don't know, I just don't, I do get jealous, but I think I've had so much trauma in the past with jealousy and stuff. I'm like, well, you gonna leave me, goodbye, when you realize that the grass is not greener where you thought it was. It was greener where you water it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, type thing. But again, that comes with self-confidence, that comes with working on myself for 4 years. Not saying I don't ever get jealous, But I do put a lot of, but I think I would communicate with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if he's having 40 different posters in our room and he's like, can you pretend to be this girl? Like, then that's a problem. But if he's like, oh, I like this little girl, whatever, okay, well, I think this man's really hot, too.
Yeah.
So he better be cool with that.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it has to be equal.
Because we all have fantasies, but...
Yeah. I think it's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with, moving it like further, like, having like sexy outfits, or I think there's a difference when a guy is like,
but I mean, if he's like, oh, can you dress up with like her, wear the wig, wear the same perfume, then that's crazy.
It's like, okay, I'm not the person.
I have plenty of sexy outfits.
Yeah, but it's like you're not your person. You're not your own person anymore.
Yeah, then that's very inappropriate, and that needs to be taken care of. Unless you're into that thing. Yeah. But again, communication is key.
Yeah, I think it's really cute and really attractive when a guy's like, I think you would look absolutely gorgeous in this because it's red, and I think you look gorgeous in red.
Oh, yeah,
like you look sexy hot fire in white, or you look sexy hot fire in purple.
Oh, I have a question going on.
Okay, go on.
What do you think you should wear to your first date?
Oh.
I think it depends where he takes you.
I think it depends where he takes you.
Because, those outfits in New York, I would not wear that to go out to dinner. Unless we were going to New York.
I wouldn't want my boobs to totally be popping out, but, I think...
Well, we were in New York, girl.
I think, if it's... okay, first of all, he needs to state where we're going. Like, if he's, like, fancy... I like element of surprise. If he's, like, we're fancy, I'll be like, okay, like, heels... Because I think it shows off all aspects. Come on, ladies, like,
Little heels.
Fake
eyelashes.
Something that makes you feel good, but not like,
Yeah.
Because you want to show... I think you should wear something that makes you comfortable and right for the scene.
Yeah.
If he's like, okay, we're going to go out to coffee, I think it's still cute. You do up your makeup a little bit. Don't go wearing, like, a cocktail dress to Starbucks at 4 p.m. What are you... it's like, whoa. If you're going out to a semi-nice dinner, I think, like,
Yeah.
Even some, like, really... Your nicest jeans with some heels and, like, maybe, like, a cute, like, little blazer or something.
Yeah, I think you dress to the occasion.
Yeah, but I think you should show off your best assets, within reason.
Yeah.
I think. But whatever makes you feel good, because whatever you're wearing that makes you feel good your comfort is going to come out.
Yeah.
Better.
I agree. I always were wearing leggings, especially when I'm going to dinner.
But, make yourself feel good. Do your makeup for 2 hours if that makes you feel good.
Yeah. I agree.
That's all right.
I agree.
All right,
guys. Look at us. We're already trying to wrap it up together.
I know.
So let's wrap it up because we can save more questions for part 3.
Part 3. It's too juicy not to put a part 3 in.
Yeah, we have part 3.
All right, guys.
Well, this is Back In on Poppin' Off.
This is Bronte, guys. Peace.